already late.
Oh là là, il est déjà tard.
Oh là là, il est déjà tard.
Elle vous demande, can you drop me off at my place?
Est-ce que tu peux me déposer chez moi?
Est-ce que tu peux me déposer chez moi?
Hi ladies, I'm off to get a manicure, so I thought I would bring you along with me, just showing you what I do with my days. Slow living, elegant living, when I'm not filming videos. I'll show you a little bit of the beautiful scene that I see every time I get in my car and I drive around and I think, how did this happen? You know, a lot of times we think when we're dreaming the next level dream, but how? Like, how? You don't in the least have to know the how. You just have to learn the skills that I teach of how to flow with life. Instead of resisting it, instead of blocking it, and actually not just how to get in the flow, but to help the flow. Like you can be in a canoe and let the tide take you, or you can be in the canoe and let the tide take you and have some oars and help it along. And the spiritual feminine lifestyle and perspective, the tools that I give you are the things that are those oars. They're the things that help things along. Help the universe in the co-creation of what you desire to come alive. I remember the days when I would hit my snooze button 10 times, be so tired all the time, feel completely burnt out, and was wishing for a more relaxed, slow life where I could get up in the morning when my body got me up, when I could eat all of those healthy foods instead of like throwing something in the toaster and like chomping it down while I put my makeup on, or in the car on the way to the school, shoveling my lunch down at noontime because I had to go do supervision or run another lunch club. I mean, there were moments in my life when I loved it. I used to actually, at the beginning of my teaching job, I used to go out at recess time and play basketball with my students. Like I loved it, but then there came a time when I didn't like it anymore, and that's not what I wanted. I wanted even more. Not saying that there's anything wrong with a teacher's lifestyle. I never want that to come, but for me, that was not how my life was supposed to play out. It was supposed to expand and get more and more. And oh my gosh, I'm forgetting to show you the scenery. Okay, when we go back, I'll show you the scenery. And that's when those dreams started tapping me on the shoulder. And I know many of you have those dreams tapping you on the shoulder, and yet there's so much resistance you have to it. And a lot of the resistance comes from the mind, which is trying to keep you safe because it doesn't want you to experience hurt or challenges. Yet the soul knows that those challenges are the very things that are there for a purpose, to actually help you grow and expand into your next level. So that's why I'm so passionate about empowering you, because when you have the tools and when you have this lifestyle and this way of being, showing up and having a certain perspective, everything just happens with so much more elegance and grace, I'm telling you. So it all started with me saying, when I drive around here and I see me living where I'm living, and I thought that this would only happen after my kids were totally gone away from the home, but that I got to experience it like how many years before with my family. Well, when I tell you that great things can happen, that you, oh, okay, thank you. Sorry about that tight corner. When I say that great things can happen, I really mean it. I mean it from the depth of my being. I mean it from a person who, if I would just get together some of my oldest friends, how would you describe Erin's life? They would say, always a drama, always a story to tell of what happened, what went wrong, what was the big thing. And we would laugh about it. They'd say, oh, what is it this time? But I'll tell you something, I got tired of being that person, because it's funny once, it's funny twice, but after some really, really massive thing happened, when my first marriage ended, and that whole physical abuse and restraining order, that's when I knew I'm done. I am done with being the person who describes her life as always something going on. There's always something. There's always something. And I wanted to feel the peace. You know, I'll just end this and then I've got my manicure appointment. But there's one scene, almost like if it was a movie scene, that I remember. It was when I went to France. It was about 2 months in that I had been there, and I met with someone. We became very good friends, and he was a practicing Buddhist and a yoga teacher. We were sitting on a park bench one day, and it was a beautiful day, and there I was in France, like living the dream. It was unbelievable. And then reality set in, like, where am I in my life? Yes, I'm living here in France, but I have no job to go back to. I'm in the process of a divorce. I really don't know who I am fully. And I had so much unprocessed trauma that was within me. And I remember sitting with him and me staring up into the sky, and I was like, I just want to be happy. I just want to be happy. And he said to me, well, that's a very good goal to have. And I was like, that's all you got? I was expecting some wise thing from this yoga teacher going to tell me something really wise. And you know what? What I have found over time is that the simplest things are truth. And the complicated things are what just keep us in here, stuck, not moving forward. It's another trick of the ego to keep us stuck and not fulfilling our dream life, because it makes it seem too complicated. It's too complicated. I can't figure it out. I can't do it. And when I teach what I teach, women are like, wow, you make it so simple. This way of living is actually simpler, less complicated. I have more time on my hands and I'm making more money. I have more time on my hands and I have greater connections in my life. I'm happier than I've ever been. I'm more impactful in my work than I've ever been. Everything changes, and it's from these simple things. And yet society and culture, media, marketing has trained us to believe that things are very complicated and complex and difficult, and that's actually furthest from the truth. It's all about learning how to live in flow and have this, especially for women, this spiritual feminine lifestyle and perspective. So look, if you want to start feeling empowered, there's basically 4 different places to start, and it's up to you to decide where you are on your path. I've laid it out, but you have to decide, and then you have to commit. No one can do it for you. You know, I've given out courses for free and people haven't taken advantage of them because they're not even ready for that. You have to decide that today is the day that you stop feeding the ego and making it more powerful, and you start saying, no, today is the first day that I take a step onto the path to my elegant life. And it can happen in this lifetime. 100%. If I can go from my drama life, you can too.